My wheel's gonna already be chalked.
You can chalk the wheel before that, yeah.
Yeah, I want to chalk mine on my pre-trip.
But see, the thing is, some of them, what they'll do is they want to turn that wheel, right? So they can see the brakes up here, right?
Exactly.
So whenever they come back to the truck, then they can turn the wheel, chalk the wheels.
Gotcha.
Just make sure you chalk them.
Yes,
Let me tell you, because I'll tell you right now, you'll be rolling backwards.
Where Burger King go?
Oh, he in that car.
Listen, can I chalk my trailer wheels?
No, don't do that.
On the tractor.
Just do the tractor because it's easy to break away, right? Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is make sure I get inside the tractor right here. I'm going to make sure I have three-point contact when I get inside the tractor. Okay? Alright. First thing I'm going to talk about is my seat belt. Make sure it's not ripped or torn. Okay, make sure it's secure latches. Okay, then I'll talk about my fire extinguisher. Make sure it's probably not secured, not bent, cracked, or broken, not missing nuts, bolts, screws. Make sure it's not leaking, and make sure it's fully charged to the green level. Then I have back there, I have my cargo box. Make sure I tell them I have my fuse flares and triangles, okay? And then I'm going to do my safety start. I'm going to turn the truck to auxiliary, okay? Make sure my foot's on the brake, make sure it's in neutral, and make sure both my brakes are popped. Then I'm going to conduct my safety start. Okay? Now the next thing I want to talk about is my mirrors, okay? Make sure they're probably not secured, not bent, cracked, or broken, not missing nuts, bolts, screws. Make sure the mirror itself is clean, clear, not cracked. Make sure there's nothing obstructing my view. And then I want to hit my mirror heater here. Make sure I tell them it's working. Okay. Then I got my windshield. Make sure it's probably not secured. Make sure it's clean, clear, not cracked. Make sure there's nothing obstructing my view and no illegal stickers. Okay. Then I want to talk about my windshield wipers. Make sure they're probably not secured, not bent, cracked, or broken, not missing nuts, bolts, screws. Make sure they're firmly pressed against the windshield and the rubber's in good condition. And then I want to talk about windshield washer fluid, so I got to press my button down. Talk about windshield washer fluid, make sure that's working properly. Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk about was my air horn and my city horn. Okay. And then I got to turn my lights on here. Okay. Turn both of them on. And then I'll talk about my climate control. Okay. So I got my fan speed, my climate selector, and my hot and cold. Okay. I want to make sure I turn it all the way to defrost. Make sure I turn it to heat. Okay. And I'm going to put my hand up against the windshield here and make sure there's nothing obstructing the airflow. Okay. Now I'm over here in the dashboard now. I don't have to worry about anything else but the dashboard right here, okay? So I'm talking about my gauges. My oil pressure's in the top left corner up here. I want to make sure it's between 20 and 60. My battery voltage should be between 12 and 14. My water temperature should be between 100, 200, anything above 200 is running hot. My brake application shows how much pressure is being applied to the brake. My primary and secondary PSI should be between 100 and 125. Then I'm going to talk about my indicators. Okay, so I have my left turn signal, my right turn signal, my four-way flashers,
my high beam,
and my high beam indicator. Okay, and then so now I'm done with those. I can turn my lights off. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is make sure my pressure is at 125. Okay, my pressure is at 125. I'm going to turn the truck off. I'm going to turn it back to auxiliary and watch my hands wave. Okay? Now the next thing I'm going to do is push in both my valves, and I'm going to wait for that histon to stop. I'm going to ask the examiner, is it okay if I go ahead and pull out my phone to check for 1 minute? In that 1 minute time, I should not lose no more than 3 psi. Okay? Now, for the sake of the video, right, I'm going to tell them, listen, you know, assuming that 1 minute time's up, I'm going to say, I have not lost no more than 1 minute, in 1 minute, I have not lost no more than 3 psi, okay? Now, the next test is applied pressure, okay, for 1 minute, okay? And I want to make sure I don't lose no more than 4 psi in that 1 minute time, okay? For the sake of the video, I'm going to tell them, you know, when the 1 minute time's up, I'm going to tell them I have not lost no more than 4 psi in that 1 minute time. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is fan my brakes down to 60 psi, and that's when my low air warning lights should come on. So I'm going to fan my brakes down. Now, as you can see, both of my low air warning lights came on at 60 psi. Okay. Now I'm going to continue to fan my brakes down, and that's when my valve should pop out. Okay. Between 20 and 40 psi. There's my trailer valve. And there's my tractor valve. Okay. Now both of them popped out between 20 and 40 psi. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is start my truck up. Okay. And I'm going to tell the examiner it should take no longer than 3 to 4 minutes for pressure to build up to 125 by itself. Okay. So I'm going to start my truck. Okay. And I'm going to go unshock my wheels. So I'm going to make sure I shake my wheels so I break away those chocks. Okay. Take my seatbelt off. Make sure I have 3-point contact when I get out of this truck. You can use the steering wheel as a point of contact. Okay.
Let's say YouTube it.
When I get back in the truck, I'm going to make sure I put my seatbelt back on. Now I'm going to ask the examiner, in the sake of time, it's okay if I build my pressure up a little bit quicker so we don't have to wait here 3 or 4 minutes. Okay? They say, sure, go ahead. I want to build my pressure up. I'm going to put my RPMs between 10 to 15 RPMs here and just wait for my pressure to build to 125.
I'll be a tab today.
Now that my pressure's at 125, now I'm going to conduct my tug test, okay? I can pick either or, whatever I want to do, okay? This is my tractor valve, this is my trailer valve, okay? When I push them in, that means the brakes are being actuated to that, okay? That means that they're actually able to move, okay? When they're out like this right here, that means the brakes are actuated, I should say, okay? That means that they cannot move, okay? So I'm going to push in my tractor valve and test my trailer brakes, okay? Testing my trailer brakes when the trailer brakes are out like this, okay? So I'm going to tug against it. Okay? As you can see, my trailer brakes are working, okay? I'm going to pull out my tractor valve, okay, to push in my trailer valve, and now my brakes are actually on my tractor, okay? I'll wait for the hiss to stop there, okay? And then I'm going to tug against my tractor brakes. See, that's working there. Okay, now I'm going to push in both my valves. Okay, and I'm going to drive 5 miles per hour forward, and I'm going to hit my brakes, and I want to make sure my tractor doesn't pull left or right, which will indicate a problem with service brakes. Okay. Hit my brakes. Okay, as you can tell, my tractor didn't pull left or right, which indicates a problem with service brakes. I'm going to pop my brakes, put it in neutral. And that's the end of my end cap. Okay.
All right.